Hi, my name's Tom Burke. I'm with Ioline Corporation, and I'm going to show you a little something in this session about how to use the color selection tools to work with colors in your Rhinestone designs using Ioline Design and the CrystalStudio software. Now, for this particular design, we're going to use a piece of clip art, but in this case, we're not going to go to Layout and Clip Art to select that piece of clip art. We want to use the colors that are in this Rhinestone palette down here, and to do that we have to go to File, Import, and we're going to import that clip art file from the clip art folder in your Ioline Design folder on your hard drive in your computer. Go over here and we'll select this particular Eagle 1, and we've imported it in. And you may notice those colors down there. They'll go away, and we'll then be working with just the Rhinestone color palette that we want to use. Now, first I want to do a little something to clean up this design, which is remove this particular piece here. So I'm going to go to Layout, and I'm going to ungroup the design. Now I can select just that portion, and I can hit the delete button to remove it. Now I'm going to fill this design with stones by filling it with vectors. That is to say, we're going to fill it with inlines. We'll go to the Outline tool under Transform, but instead of using outline, we're going to use inline, and we'll use a green color in this case, and we'll create an inline of about 16. And now we're going to repeat that again and again to fill the inside of this design. Got 7 inlines there, and we'll close that. Now that's pretty good, but there's a couple of things I want to work with here, and this will show you a little something about how to use the editing tools. We're going to go to Arrange. First we're going to click on Break Path, and that will allow us to separately edit different vectors in this design. And I'm going to start with this vector right here. We'll zoom in so we can see what we're doing a little bit better. And we'll go to our Select tool, and I'll double click on that vector. That opens up the node editing, and I'm going to drag these nodes a little bit further into the wings. Now I'm going to do the same with this vector down here. Double click on it and grab the appropriate node to stretch those vectors into the wing shape just a little further. Okay, that's pretty much what I want to do there. Now there's one more thing I want to do, which is select this vector, and I'm going to change that vector to the color that we're going to be using on the outer line here as well. So what I'll do is simply go over here and I'll double click on that black. Now notice both of those lines are rendered in black now. Okay, we'll zoom back out by going to this arrowed zoom tool, and at this point we're going to start populating the design with rhinestones. First of all, we'll select our rhinestones by simply going to Layout, Clip Art, and the Ioline Rhinestones. Double click, and this will open up our Ioline Rhinestone object library. And if you haven't guessed by now, we're going for a red, white, and blue design here, and we'll start with the red, which in this case would be garnet. I'll double click on the 6SS stone, and I'll place it right here. Likewise, we'll go back and we'll select again from the Ioline Rhinestone object library. We'll select a blue color. In this case, that blue color will be sapphire. We'll use the 6SS again. Double click on it and place that here as well. Now we're going to obtain white as well, but actually what we're going to use is a green color, simply because it's a little easier to see here in the video. So now we've got our sapphire color selected, and I'm just going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to double click on the black line. That is to say, the black active color over here in our color selection. I double click and now I've selected those black lines as well as the sapphire stone. We'll go to Transform, Fit Object to Path, and we'll give it a spacing of 16. Now we'll repeat that process by selecting the garnet stone, holding down the Shift key, and double clicking on those green inner inlines. We'll go to Transform, Fit Object to Path, and again we'll select a spacing of 16. Okay, now we're actually going to delete the vectors behind those stones. We'll go over and we'll select the black lines by simply double clicking, and then we'll hit the Delete key. Likewise, we'll double click on the green lines behind the garnet stones, and by selecting those green lines and hitting the Delete key, we'll eliminate those stones. Now we're going to add a third color, and we're going to do this in a slightly different way. We'll draw a box around this portion of the eagle's head, and I'm actually going to select green here because it makes the design a little easier to see. That would let us play with the color green a little bit. But now we have our three colors. We'll delete these two stones. We'll select the entire design, and we'll export it to Ioline, to the Crystal Press, and we'll call it Am Eagle. The idea here is that you can use these colors down here on your palette and these active colors over here to really control what is selected and what's not selected in your design. And that can be very useful in controlling the stones and controlling the look of the design. Now we'll go into CrystalStudio. We'll open that file. And we'll go to Layers. We'll set up a 6SS stone. And in the red, we'll make that visible. We'll go to a 6SS stone on the orange, which is the head, and we'll correct that color to white. Make that visible. And then finally, we'll select a 6SS stone here. Let's correct that color to blue. And make those colors visible as well.